Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, greatest screenwriter in the history of the world, recovering hobo. I'm tired man, but I get up and I do what I must. Couldn't sleep much, dehydrated, desidrato. Oh my goodness. But I don't want to sleep in. I'm like, I'll take a nap later if I must. Did a light workout, all that stuff. This t-shirt combo is ridiculous. Gotta cut back on the indulgences in my meals. That's not good for me. Keeping it healthy. Man, last 3 days I've not slept much. I went to sleep at like 6:15 in the evening last night. I was so tired. I woke up at like 11, didn't fall asleep again until around like 2 in the morning or 2:30 or something. Woke up again with nightmares. I dreamed like I lived in some other place and somebody had been like messing with my stuff while I was sleeping, and that it was the girl I live with, and that she was just acting insane. The girl who, terrorized everybody, all that stuff. Although I haven't seen her in weeks, thank goodness. I heard her the other day, but it's apparent like she's been traveling or something. So good for all of us. I don't have work today. That's good. Took the day off, vacation day. Good timing. I need a second kitchen towel, so when I put one in the laundry, I have a second one. Still gonna take my bike for a spin this morning. I don't even know where I'm gonna go yet. I wish there were a lot more options of where to ride my bike to, but a lot of areas are not safe to bike in LA. It should be. Should be a bike metropolis and a pedestrian metropolis here. Yeah. Anyways. Still trying to gain muscle. Gaining a little bit. Still kind of growing. I had nightmares in part because I think when I woke up, I was looking at news articles. I should never do that. The news is fucking horrifying. Stabbings and random assaults and all that. And I'm like, it gets in me. I don't want to see that stuff. And it's also kind of weird because, like, when I was in Virginia, generally the news, like, stuff like that didn't happen that close to me. Like, sort of, but it was like in DC or in Maryland. I'm sure there was stuff in Virginia too, but it wasn't that like dramatic for the most part. And stuff in DC, I'm like, yeah, that's a totally different area. That's across the river, the Potomac. It's a little distance away, so it's kind of separated like geographically. Here, it's like, no, down the street there's a stabbing. Down the street, a random assault. Down the street, somebody was shot. Whatever. Like, oh my goodness, I can't live with all. I don't even like saying that to you all. Like giving this info out. Like, you know, yeah, these are bizarre, horrible things, but for the most part, people are good here, and this stuff can happen anywhere. It doesn't make it any better or worse. So, anyways, gotta get that out of my head. It's too disturbing. I don't know how people just watch the news all the time. That's gotta desensitize you to a lot of stuff. Of course, when I was younger, I loved watching the news, so yeah, I was desensitized to it. Alright. Making my desayuno. I have a little bit more for my breakfast today. Eat a little bit larger breakfast because I'm going to go on my bike ride. It's going to be a bit of a while. And I got to clean my apartment, all that stuff. And 60 grams too much. I'll make it, 54 grams of oatmeal. Steel cutouts. Oh, what was that? Taco noodles, what's up? Hold on, I saw something about a job in there. Let me write down my, I have a food journal because I'm trying to track my macronutrients throughout the days. And, I'm supposed to hit certain goals. Some days I go over. Some days I'm under. Yesterday I was under. But, yeah, this helps me understand what I'm eating and all that. Taco noodles. Sounds delicious. I know the microwave's loud, so I'll move this here. What's Taco Noodles have to say? Taco Noodle says, good morning, hope you are well. Got a new job, got a car, and living in it now. Dude, that's awesome. Were you living in a car before, or were you in like a tent, or what? I forget your situation. And I've had other homeless people watching my channel. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are the realists, because like we know, what it's like in our own ways. I never lived on the street. I was living on the street, but like I never slept on the pavement. Why don't I make sleeping videos anymore? It's kind of a hassle. Like, when I sleep, I don't know. I gotta have a light on, and yeah, I could do it. Like, it's not that big a deal, but I don't know. It was always kind of a hassle to set up. But, yeah, I probably will again sometime. I just haven't bothered. I should start writing down my stuff. Write down my different ingredientes. Escribir mis diferentes ingredientes. Crema de cacahuate. This stuff. Oh, Moist Andy messaged me. Let's see. Okay, he sent me a long message. I'll read that later, but it's a good one. You don't speak English? What language do you speak, Vanessa? Or how are you gonna? Oh, French and Spanish. Hablas español? Oh, okay. You were temporarily in a tent, and then got 1 month at my mom's, and finally got into a car. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so glad. Taco noodles. What region are you living in again? I forget. Are you in Florida? So maybe you don't have to worry about the cold. You got to worry about the heat though and the rain. But that's really cool, man. That's a huge step up. Oh my goodness. From how you were living, that's a huge step up. Okay. All right. Entiendo la pregunta sobre mis live streams, how do you say live streams? En vivo, streams en vivo o transmisiones en vivo de yo durmiendo. Es mucho trabajo hacer, no es mucho trabajo, pero es trabajo fabricar o hacer los videos durmiendo. Tengo que dejar las lámparas o los luces encendidos. Es difícil. Polvo de proteína. Let's do this shit. Good. $68 gramos. There we go. Oh, Moist Andy me mandó un mensaje otra vez. Un texto otra vez. Okay, Vanessa, cuídate. Eso es demasiado. Demasiado interés. Gracias. Paz a todo. I'm trying to say peace and love in Spanish. How do I say it? But that probably, I don't know if it translates the same in Spanish. I'm just trying to say peace and love, but that's a bit much with the attention. Thank you. All right, wheat germ. 10 gramos. Perfecto. Oh, pasas, raisins. Damn, Most Standing keeps texting me. This is cool. I'm excited. Pasas, raisins. I gotta get a proper container of raisins. These bags go too quickly. Oh, you can't see anything. All right. Roommate walked by as he went to work. I didn't want to put him on camera. was a lot of peanut butter. 21 grams. Oh, I didn't put enough water this time. That's interesting. Usually I have too much water. Yeah, let's see how this mixes. It's starting to mix now. When I have too much water, it's too soupy. Cool snorri cam effect. But yeah, didn't sleep great, but that's alright. I'll probably take a nap, I'm sure. This is delicious. Some guy who apparently used to live in this apartment doesn't anymore. He still gets mail here occasionally from child support services. Don't know what that's about. Oh, cool. So now you're in North Carolina. Awesome. When I was younger, I thought it might be cool to go to North Carolina and live. I don't know, it just seemed cool. I've never really stopped in North Carolina. I've been to South Carolina. Very different place there. Different world. A lot of poverty there too. Sad. And what's particularly sad too about seeing a place like South Carolina, even more so than, a lot of other places, it's just like dominated by cars and roads. Everywhere you have to go is far away. It's on a road. You cannot walk there. You just can't. Like, there's not even pedestrian infrastructure a lot of places. So you have to have a car. So you have to spend all this money on a car and you're probably already not making much money. The car's not that reliable. It's a terrible situation. And being in a car, I just realized being a cyclist after so long is stressful. It's isolating. Taco noodles, dude, that's awesome. If you can do stuff to be healthy and help yourself out, especially if you got a job now, and not that jobs are all great, but um, if you can do stuff like hiking or whatever, now you have some mobility with your car, that's awesome, man. I went hiking quite a bit. Um, when I was in my car, I would go to Hanson Dam or like some mountain. I don't know even where it was. I guess around Glendale. I'm not sure. And by some library and just try and scale that. That was really difficult. But also go to the like Latuna Canyon in LA, or like really it was like way out in like Tahunga, and parking situations are terrible, and you can't get there other than by car. Like there's no way. It's on the freeway basically. Like you just pull off on the freeway to get there. And I would make my live streams a lot of times on this channel from there. Man, what a different time. I didn't have a job. I was homeless. Geez, different world. But there was a lot of great stuff about it. It was everything. Great, bad, all rolled into one. Warehouse position? Dude, that's awesome. If you can make it work for you, and that warehouse, depending what you're doing there, I'm assuming you're sorting packages, you will burn so many calories there. This is how Moist Andy stays so thin and lean. He can eat like 5,000 calories a day, and he's like so skinny. When I was working in a warehouse, I would eat these huge seafood salads with like tilapia, salmon, shrimp in them, all this extra stuff, and I lost like 15 pounds. I tried eating there once at that restaurant after I quit the warehouse job. I couldn't even finish it. It was disgusting. Like I was so stuffed. But when you're working that hard, you gotta eat. Dude, that's great taco noodles. And also taco noodles, something I learned great in my car, progressive muscle relaxation. I mean, I never tell anyone, hey, just do this. I say, this is what worked for me. You may like it. Just, squeezing, tensing up muscles. Like, and then totally relaxing them and exhaling. It's like befriending your body, feeling safe in your body. Do little things like this, like tap along your arms, feel your boundaries. I learned this helps me a lot to discharge energy. Also, wiggling my shoulders helps a ton lately. It's weird, like different parts of my body, it's like tension gets stored there. So, doing this gives me like goosebumps. Like you can see, I've got like goosebumps now from discharging tension because I still go through a lot of tension. Man, the stuff I went through. But that stuff helped me really get out of my dissociative episode, or yeah, my relapse, which it took a long time, but now I'm better than ever. And now I know I can stay out of dissociation. I still sometimes it tempts to get it, like not tempts to, but it can creep in a little if I'm stressed in my head and I remember do these exercises over and over, get up early, eat healthy, work out. Oh, that's great, taco noodles. You do that too? Dude, taco noodles. Great to hear you doing well. As far as sleeping, yeah, I don't know how exactly you're laid out in your car. For me, I mean, you guys could see it. You probably saw it at some point. I would just tilt the driver's seat back, which was actually way more comfortable than sleeping in a bed now, because it was so nice to have that like elevation, and something about it was super comfortable. In my sleeping bag, it was great. Excuse me. It was also really great that, like, my bed, my chair, and my car were all in like one seat. So like I'm driving, now I'm just sitting, and then I could just lean my seat back and sleep in it. But absolutely, taco noodles, that's great to hear. And I just hope that you're able to keep getting healthier. If your back can improve at all, I hope it does. Be safe, all that stuff. You know, there's a ton to say about living in your car. It's like, I can't even say it all. You know, with my advice and all, I say have a good routine. Keep your car clean too, for your mental benefit. Sorry, I got peanut butter and protein powder on my lips. You know, try and like on a somewhat regular basis, keep it cleaned up. Don't let it get too cluttered, because it starts to, like, at least for me, it would make me feel kind of lower, and I felt pride in just cleaning my car. And maintain that thing too, you know. Maybe learn a few things about how to maintain it if you don't know already, to keep it in good working order. Nice taco noodles. But yeah, I guess you saw my sleeping videos, but I would sleep with a Sub-Zero sleeping bag a lot of the time, even when it was only like 50 degrees, because even that was too cold to sleep with just blankets. Because any cold air that crept in, like even on my sides, it would wake me up. So I had to be in my sleeping bag. Man, I am tired. And hopefully this is just a way station onto you getting housed. And when you're housed, what I hope for you is you already have such an unbreakable mindset and routine going that you're just able to thrive in the place you get. I'm sure you already have an unbreakable mindset in a lot of ways, but you know, each different living station, it takes like some adjusting to get used to. So going from, you know, your tent to a car, that's one transition where it's like your routine, your sort of discipline and program is going to help you, you know, level up through that. And if possible, and I know warehouse work, you may be working odd hours, but if possible, I always say get up earlier than you're comfortable with. It doesn't mean be sleep deprived, it just means get your day done, plan out your next day, and go to sleep, so that you can get up early and get the day out of your way, because you have this thing holding you, you know, sort of up against you, which is being homeless. But now you can get this out of your way by getting up earlier, doing more to prepare, and that helped me a ton. I had to do it. It almost like it goes without saying. I don't even need to explain it. All right. I don't have my dish rag right now because it's in the dryer downstairs, so I'm just gonna let my stuff sit in the sink draining thing, dish holder. My alcoholic roommate left this year, the dying plant. He called it a bonsai tree. It is not a bonsai tree that he found on the street. Yo, Moist Andy. I was reading your text, Moist Andy, but I gotta get to him later. Moist Andy says camping isn't fun unless there's enough people. Taco Noodle says absolutely still getting used to it. Feel so much safer at last now, dude. I can only imagine. Like, I don't know, just something about you when you're out in the open. Like, you're exposed. People can just attack you. And even in your car, like I was watching one of my sleep streams last night. People keep asking about him and stuff, and I was a little scared watching it. Like, Oh my goodness, the windows were uncovered. Like anybody could just come up to me, and if they had some strange urge to act out or whatever, violent or otherwise, that would have been bad. Moist Andy said, but that's great, taco noodles. Moist Andy Taco Noodles moved from a tent to a car, and he's got a warehouse job now. Dude, just like Moist Andy has a warehouse job and he was living in his car for a while, I had a warehouse job and I was living in my car for a while. This is a common American story. Moist Andy says the most critical part of planning is making a shopping list. If not writing, at least memorize the list from top to bottom mentally. That's good advice. And if possible, like Taco Noodles is saying he wants to go hiking, definitely work out however you can. You know, if you gotta avoid certain things for your back, do it, but see if there's, and I gotta be cautious, you gotta be cautious about it. I gotta be cautious in how I give advice. If there's exercises that can at all be therapeutic for your back. I don't know what your back issues are. For me, just like mobility, yeah, I didn't really ever have back problems, but I did have shoulder impingements I would get. And things that would help that are like good posture, hanging from like pull-up bars to sort of like get that flexion or whatever you call it, just literally hanging, decompress my back. And also, when I didn't have pull-up bars around, just like finding a tree limb and just hanging from that and letting my back decompress. That was really helpful. Also, push-ups in the proper form would help me with my impingement. I actually found it helped more to do that than to just not work out, because I had a really bad impingement too for like 6 months. Um, about a year ago, something like that. It was so awful, and it took a long time, even after the impingement was gone, for me to be able to work out my shoulders again without it feeling like scissors were cutting into my shoulders. Now I can, but I'm much more careful about my posture. I don't look at my phone much, like while standing, so I'm hunched over and stuff. I'm like very diligent about my posture at my keyboard, on my computer, all that stuff. That's why I have the tray that elevates my laptop, and I have an external keyboard. So you see the setup. Where is it? The setup there. So I'm not like craning my neck down. So I'm not even going to act it out to look at the monitor. So the laptop's elevated, and I have the keyboard right there. So I don't have to like have a bad position when I'm at the computer. And I frequently take breaks to, here, I'll show you. For the impingements, I'll do stuff like this, but I'm kind of like, almost like trying to make my shoulder blades touch in the back. Do this, and constantly, as I'm moving my arms, I'm not just moving them straight up and down, I'm sort of pulling them back. Doing this, work those muscles. And it's great exercise. It's fun. It feels, good. Nice little release to do that. Little things like that. It helps the connective tissues, the joints. It's not just muscles. Muscles are there, like, yeah, you can see the muscles, but your strength also and wellness and mobility comes from your joints and connective tissues. And that's really what I want to keep well, so I can stay mobile, however long I'm around, until my 80s, potentially 90s. Moist Andy says, I will cook 10 pounds of food again, 3 pounds of beef, then 3 pounds of vegetables and some beans. Moist Andy's been leveling up too. He got his own condo, by the way, on the 10th floor. That's so awesome. And Falls Church, I'm so excited for him. He's cooking his meals and having a good time. Falls Church can be a great place. It's not all just creepy Baptist pastors like the one I lived with, and not all just in roads that are inaccessible to anything but cars. They do have the metro going through there, and I'm sure bus lines. Taking my supplements. That's the other, all these little things you can do for your health. If you can do it, and do it, get ahead of your health, But I know it's tough because shit, I lived it, and I'm just lucky I didn't have major health problems when I was homeless. I should have put this shirt I have on now in the wash too. I thought I didn't need to. I wore it with a t-shirt under it, but the thing is when I ride my bike home, I put sunscreen on my face and neck, and some got on the collar. And I was like, I should have washed it. All right, everyone. Oh well, I'll take my vitamin D, then scurry along. But taco noodles. If you go hiking, please wear sunscreen. I do ask that. And wear a hat. But that is great. You're able to get finally some kind of shelter. I heard someone say this about being homeless or homelessness, homeless people, whatever. They said, I'm not homeless. I have a home. I just have no house to put it in. You know, it's in other words, your home isn't just a building, it's you, and we all should be housed. But at least you have shelter. You have some type of dwelling now. I mean, yeah, a tent is a little bit of a shelter, so don't want to discount that, but shit, obviously you don't want to be living in a tent. Some people do, like if they just want to be in the wilderness and camp. But anyways, that's a different topic. But yeah, really glad for you and all my homeless friends out there watching. Hope you're all angry. Wyatt, what's up? You've been busy spring break, spending time with my mom and my dad and my sister on spring break. Dude, that's cool, man. Enjoy time with your family. I was just thinking about Angry Grandpa because I was talking about with taco noodles, how he lives in North Carolina. Said I've been to South Carolina. Well, as you probably know, I've been there to see Angry Grandpa. I actually did some video work there too, separately, but I went and visited him and Pickle Boy and Bridget. Um, Anyways, I'm gonna get going, everyone. Man, I'm tired. Did not sleep that great. I'm trying to work it up, but I'm a wreck about a lot of things, but trying to be well. Exercise helps, eating right, talking, all that stuff. I'm gonna get going. Congratulations to Taco Noodles on the new car and job. Congratulations to Moist Andy on the condo and the beef and the not using credit cards, I guess, so you can avoid the mark of the beast. I forget that whole explanation, but and on drinking 4 cups of coffee a day. Congratulations to everybody out there, because if you got something good going on. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go. Thanks for joining.